One of the biggest challenges that most people are working through in our world as a whole, not even individually, is stress, feeling overwhelmed, having a family to take care for, having a full-time job, still making time to go see our other parts of family, right? Still spending time, maybe even building your business on the side while you're raising a family, while you're working a full-time job. There's no denying that stress is rampant in today's world. And the question is, what can we do in order to eliminate that stress? Well, I just want to start this by saying there is no way to eliminate stress. And I don't really think that you'd want to eliminate stress. I mean, think back to a time in your life where you were extremely stressed, and then the moment came where you weren't as stressed. So what happened during that time when you did feel stressed, right? The thing about stress is, how does a diamond come into existence? And I know this sounds cliche. I know this sounds cheesy, but a diamond comes into existence not just from thin air. A diamond is created when pressure is applied to coals. When pressure is applied, that coal, there's so much stress, there's so much pressure, there's so much external forces happening against it. And in that moment, do you think the coal feels really good, right? If the coal had nerve endings, how would it feel? It would feel overwhelmed. It would feel crushed. It would feel extreme anxiety, maybe even worse. But what happens after that pressure is applied to the coal? The diamond appears, right? And the number one thing that you mentioned in the survey that you're struggling with is stress. It is overwhelm. It is anxiety. And the first thing that I want to say too is, obviously, you're not alone feeling stressed. You're not alone feeling anxious. These thoughts that you have, these feelings that you have, they're not your own. Many other people share them, probably every single person that you pass on a daily basis. The reality is, if you're feeling stressed right now in your life, in your relationship, with your fitness, whatever it might be, with your finances, it means that this is an opportunity for you to grow and to become more. If there was no stress, we wouldn't grow. If there was no stress, we wouldn't change the behavior that's causing the stress in the first place, right? Personally, I'm working a job while also growing my business and growing my audience at the same time. There's a lot of stress involved in that, right? But I found a way to manage my schedule in a way that allows me to do both of those things in a predictable manner. But we all experience stress, and I do want to talk about what you can do when that stress comes in your life, because I do understand that there are greater stresses and there are lesser stresses. The lesser stresses we want because that's what causes us to grow. But the greater stress, the even debilitating stress, the debilitating, whatever that word is, that's the type of stress that we want to avoid as much as possible, because debilitating stress is the type that can hurt us. It's the type that can harm us. And the first step when it comes to eliminating stress, and not eliminating it, but managing it in a way so that we can use it in order to grow. The number one way is you first have to be aware of those times and those moments when you're stressed. Because think about this. Are you stressed throughout your entire day? Are you anxious throughout your entire day? You might say, well, yeah, Brandon, I am stressed throughout my entire day. Well, I want you to evaluate your day then. And I want you to start your day when you wake up and start your day when you go to bed, right? There are moments in your day where you feel good. I just know it. Like, you're maybe in the car listening to a podcast. You might be listening to this right now. You might be in the shower singing. You might be around your home or your apartment dancing. Like, you might be doing something where in that particular moment in time, you do not feel stressed. But it's when we identify with this feeling of stress, it's when we identify with this overwhelm that we truly begin to feel it more, because we notice what we identify with. That's why when you find people who say, I am happy, right? I am enthusiastic. Those are the people who find more moments in their day where they are happy. The reality is, you're not stressed your entire day. So what's important is to become aware of those times in our day when we are stressed. The first step is awareness. And what I want you to do right now is think to a time when you were stressed. You might even be stressed right now. I hope not, because you're listening to this. But think to a time when you were stressed in your life. Go ahead and do it right now. Think of something that stresses you out. I don't mean to put you in a bad state, but just do it just for a second, because we'll go back to how we were feeling before. Think of a time when you did feel stressed or overwhelmed. And you might even start to feel it in your body. And that's what I want. I want you to feel that stress in your body, because I want to ask you right now, as you feel this stress, where is this stress feeling in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest? Is it you clenching your jaw? My wife was scrolling through TikTok last night, and there's this person that pops up on her TikTok every now and then. And the first thing this guy says is, "Hey girl, unclench your jaw. That's not good for you." Right? And my wife is like, "Oh my God, my jaw was clenched as I was scrolling through my phone." That's stress, right? And she said to herself, wow, just how much pressure am I putting on my jaw every single day? Because what you do with your muscles determines how you feel. What you do with your face determines how you feel. But more importantly, when you're experiencing this feeling of stress, what's your breathing like? How are you breathing when you're feeling this stress? Is your chest tight? Right? Is your breathing full? Is your breathing sporadic? No, your breathing is very not deep at all. It's very shallow breathing. There might be even hardly any breathing at all. You might even have stopped breathing, right? The first step when it comes to you reducing and eliminating the amount of stress and overwhelm in your life is to be aware of it. But then once you're aware of that feeling of stress, what I found to help me most is to change my rate of breathing. Jade Harvey. Jade, it's good to have you here. Thanks so much for joining. She's joining over from the YouTube live. Jade, it's great to have you here. Post in the comments, Jade, what's going on that's great in your life right now? What's going well? Everybody who's watching, what is going well in your life when you're not stressed? What's going well in your life? Like, if you had to tell me something that's going great, what would you write? Very cool. When you're stressed and you feel your breathing, what's your breathing like? It's shallow. So be aware of it and monitor and consciously adjust your breathing to feel the way that you're breathing as if you felt good, as if you felt confident. When you're feeling good, when you walk outside on a sunny day or you're hiking on a mountain, how is your breathing? Right? What do you do when you walk outside your home on a beautiful day and the birds are chirping, or even if they're not, just it's a great day in general. What are you doing with your breathing? You take a deep breath, right? Why do so many people smoke cigarettes and continue to smoke cigarettes for their entire life? It's not because they like the taste of them. Maybe some people do. It's not because they love being dependent on a substance. Some people might, but not most. Think about it. What else are people getting when they take a hit off that cigarette, when they smoke anything? They're getting that deep breath. They're inhaling. And then they hold it for a few seconds even. They hold in that deep breath, and then they release it through their mouth. So if you're consciously aware that you're stressed in a given moment in time, that's the first step. Change your breathing, right? It'll immediately change the way that you feel. Try it next time. Try it today when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling anything that's not the way that you want to feel. Take a deep breath in your nose, hold it for a few seconds, and then release it. And by the way, at the end of this broadcast, you're definitely going to want to stick around, because at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give you a strategy that you can use during times of stress when you become aware of it, in order to let that stress literally wash off your body as if you took a shower and removed all the stress from your life. Now, this is the thing about stress. Sometimes there are things in our life that we cannot control, right? Things happen to us. Things that we don't want to happen, things that negatively impact us, things that we did not expect. Because a big factor of stress is uncertainty. And the reality is, some of us can deal with uncertainty better than others, but some of us are very, very certain people. We like to know everything that's happening at every given time. We like to have a game plan. We like to have a schedule. I'm about half and half. I love uncertainty. I don't want to know how my entire day is going to happen. I want those little surprises, but I also like to have a level of certainty in my day. And one big thing that causes stress is when that uncertainty enters your life. And a big question that's helped me when it comes to stress and overwhelm in my life is asking myself the question, in this situation, what can I really control here? What can I do right now in order to reduce this stress? As an example, if you have something coming up, an event, a conversation, an interview, anything that you're nervous or stressed about, ask yourself in that moment, what can I really do about this right now? Is this worth my time and energy thinking about this stressful situation? Because think about it. Does thinking about this stress or overwhelm, does that serve you? Does that help you in any way? And if it does help you, it's probably because it causes you to take action to do something that will get you out of that situation. But what if there's nothing you can do right now? What's the point in stressing about something if there's nothing you can do right now? But the trick is, if there is something you can do, then just do something that will bring you in the direction of completing whatever it is that has you feeling stressed. If it's a test because you're going to school, what can you do right now in order to help yourself get a better grade on this test? Well, you can study, right? If you have a conversation coming up, a difficult one, and you're stressed about it, you're feeling anxious, what can you do in order to best prepare for this conversation? Well, you can role play. You can think about what you're going to say before you're going to say it. You can plan it in your mind. You can see the end result as if it turned out magnificent. And that's the second thing I want to give you. What can you do in this stressful or overwhelming situation right now? If the answer is nothing, then just let that stress wash away. And I'm going to give you that strategy in a few minutes that will help you to do that. But if the answer is you can do something to help your situation, then you should do it. You know, the reality is a lot of stress is caused from living in the past. A lot of stress comes from thinking about what happened to us, something that's already done, something that's already been slotted into time. And does thinking of the past really help you? It can. The past can help you because you can learn from what didn't work the first time. But what if you're thinking about something that didn't go well? After you collect what you can do next time that's better, leave it. Just leave it in the past, right? And a lot of stress is also caused from looking into the future. And this is what you can change. A lot of stress and overwhelm is looking into the future at all the things that you have to do and seeing it as if it didn't happen the way that you wanted to. That's what fear is. Fear is seeing ahead, thinking about what's going to be done, and then imagining an outcome that's not ideal. And that's just how we are as human beings. We are survival creatures. Our brains only function is to help us survive. And in stressful situations, we automatically think of the worst case scenario. But does the worst case scenario ever come to fruition? Maybe 2% of the time, probably even less than that. So my strategy that I want to give you that I use all the time, I actually do this during my morning ritual every single day, is look ahead into the future when you're feeling stressed. See this thing that's got you stressed out. And then I want you to literally close your eyes and I want you to see this stressful event unfolding in your mind's eye. See this stressful event unfolding in this theater of imagination that you have. And I want you to see it having an outcome that is great. I want you to see it having a magnificent outcome. As an example, if you have like something stressful coming up at work, if it's a project that you have to do, if it's a teamwork event, if it's something that has you stressed out, see it ending with everybody with a smile on their face, right? It might sound cheesy, but this tells your brain that everything's going to be okay. This is neuroscience. See it ending extremely well. See that it has a magnificent outcome. And after you do this, notice how your body changes the way that it feels. Notice how your breathing changes. You might even have a smile on your face. Whenever I do this with a room of people, I look around and 70% of the people in the room have a big smile on their face. Stress is caused from living in the past or looking into the future and seeing what you don't want to happen. But instead, what if you saw the magnificent outcome to that event? How would that change your life? And how would that change how you feel? Ryan Irish. Ryan, it's good to have you here, brother. Ryan, post in the comments, what's something good that's happened to you recently, man? What's a piece of good news that you have? What's something great that's going on in your life? It's great to have you here. For those just tuning in, welcome to the Be Better broadcast. I'm about to give you a little exercise that will help you to eliminate stress and eliminate overwhelm in your life. This broadcast airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Share this broadcast. It helps me immensely to reach more people so this broadcast can be viewed by more people and so it can help more people. And as a result, so we can release some positive energy into the world because we all want more positive energy. What's up, Fee? Good to have you here, brother. Thanks for joining in. Ryan Irish is back to work again. Ryan, congratulations, dude. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're getting back in the groove. Life is good. Life is good, my friend. Life is good. Hello, it's good to have you on the stream. Awesome. We got a lot of people joining in. What I want to give to you in these last few minutes here is an actual strategy that you can use that will immediately help you to wash away that feeling of stress and that feeling of overwhelm from your life. Now, if you're driving, please be careful as you use this strategy. If you're around the house, what I want you to do is I want you to follow along with me, because I use this every single time I feel stressed, at least when I'm aware and conscious of that stress. The first thing I want you to do, again, is be aware. When you're feeling stressed, when you're in that moment in time, be aware that you're feeling that particular way. And simply say to yourself, you know how you have that voice inside your head? Simply say to yourself, I'm feeling stressed right now. Right now, in this moment, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed. Then what I want you to do is locate that feeling of stress in your body. Simply locate where it is. I bet you a lot of the time that feeling of stress is going to be in your chest area. It's going to be from the lack of breathing. It's going to be a tightness in your jaw. It's going to be a tightness in your face. I want you to notice where that stress is in your body. And once you locate that stress in your body, what I want you to do is simply take a deep breath in your nose. And I want you to hold that deep breath for at least 6 seconds. So into your nose, hold that breath for 6 seconds. And then I want you to release that breath for 12 seconds. Slowly. For 12 seconds, release that breath. And then I want you to do it again. Take a deep breath in your nose. Hold that breath. And this time, when you release that breath out your mouth, I want you to imagine as if this feeling of stress, this feeling of overwhelm, I want you to imagine it washing off your body as if it was just washing down your body like water when you're in the shower, right? Washing away. The stress drips off your body. It drips off your legs. It drips off your hands onto the ground beneath you, because that stress and that overwhelm is leaving your body. So again, when you're feeling stressed, you can call this the stress waterfall, right? There's probably a better name. I'll think of a better name. But notice that awareness of the stress. Locate it in your body. And once you locate it, once you're aware that you're feeling this way, take a deep breath in your nose, hold it for 6 seconds, and then release it through your mouth for 12 seconds. And as you release this breath through your mouth, I want you to imagine and symbolize that stress washing off of your body, because this is going to put you in the present moment. This is going to give you a new strategy. This is going to give you a new way out from that feeling of stress. Because imagine what you'll be able to accomplish even more in your life. Imagine the levels of happiness and the levels of joy that you'll be able to experience once you have less levels of stress in your life and more levels of joy. And the more you practice this strategy, the more joy you will experience. Be aware of the stress. Locate it, breathe in through your nose, hold it out through your mouth, and watch and feel as the stress leaves your body. And then ask yourself the question, what can I do about this right now? If the answer is nothing, then go through your life and enjoy this moment in time. Because this moment, right now, as you listen, as you watch, this moment is all that you have. So why waste that moment by feeling a way that we don't want to feel? What if instead you felt good more of the time? What kinds of actions would you take? And as a result of those actions, what kind of results would you get in your life? How will that washing away of stress help you in your relationships? How will it help you in your career? How will it help you in your business? Use this and watch as your life improves slowly at first, but then gradually more and more and more, because life is about the long game. Life is complex. But if you have strategies that help you to escape these disempowering states and enter more powerful states, imagine how much more beautiful your life will become.